What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Source. What is happening, great man?
How are we, Doma?
Good, mate. Can't complain.
Yeah, look at both got the tanks on. It's hot weather.
Sun's out, guns out,
Yeah,
as they say.
of course. Now, repping the Giannis shirt. He got the W today over the Knicks. Jalen Brunson put on a massive performance. I think 42 points. It wasn't good enough. A few boys in the comments. James, how are we, mate? Global as always. What's happening? Yeah, another big week in sport. Things are starting to ramp up again. UFC will be back this weekend as well. And then, we've got the lead in soon enough. Doma, just around the corner, we'll be talking about the AFL because that's leading in. It will be very soon. Games will be coming up towards the end of the March. I think the season kicks off. So there's a lot happening. And we've got another year in the hobby going forward. Plenty of shows, and we'll be at one, Doma, and we're going to be on stage at the next hobby hangout. So make sure if you haven't got your tickets, purchase those and come down and say good day and
live and in person, baby.
Live, rambling on like absolute lunatics.
There's going to be a lot of change as well this year, Source. There's going to be a period where I'm going to have a new co-host in 2023 for a period of time. As you won't be available. You can't on your honeymoon jump on and do a podcast. I'm telling you, because it's not good. Let's just put
I'm going to try and make it happen. I will try and make it happen.
You're an idiot. No, you're not. No, you're not. You've lost the plot. You've lost it. Well, you're more committed than what I was when I went to Hawaii. I can tell you that much. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So a bit of change there. Could be a rotation of I don't know, people in the hobby, people that you love, and they can spend time with this big lemon over here for a couple of weeks. So you'd be stuck with me, unfortunately. Or I might just fly solo. What's the Stacking Slabs podcast? Doesn't he used to fly solo? Does that even happen anymore, that podcast? Who even knows what happens anymore? Half the people have left the hobby.
He's still kicking on.
That's good to know. Global says, have you legends bought your F1 tickets? No.
I think they're sold out, Dom. I'm pretty sure they're sold out.
Nah, we'll get in. I'm not even going to panic this year.
Double
coverage, where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
So we'll get in. Just like Saucy did last year.
Anyway,
let's get straight into it.
After what I've seen, how easy it is to just maybe walk into the grandstand like I did last year, I'm not too worried.
I'll definitely be there this time around. On the cards, NBA, EPL, NFL, UFC, as Saucy mentioned. We're going to start with a Le Mans. Saucy said he's got one, so we're going to give you the first Le Mans of 2023. We're going to talk a bit of tennis, a few interesting things happening there, and then some hobby talk. So let's get straight into the basketball, the NBA. And not for anything, the last few weeks, Source, is just, it's been riddled. There's been amazing performances, some historic performances over the last, in 2023 so far. Stat lines have been unbelievable this season. But as we know, when it gets to this point in the season, when we're halfway through, 40 games are done, there are teams that are struggling and a lot of injuries start to affect rosters. Phoenix is one of them. Booker's out. CP3 is injured now. DeAndre Ayton has to carry that team. Zion's injured over at the Pelicans. KD has got a recent injury. He's out for 6 weeks, so they're in trouble there, Brooklyn. We've got AD, who knows if he's even going to play this season. He's going to come back. We don't know. That's an issue for him. Incredible stuff. Saucy, just your thoughts, and then we'll, obviously, as we do, we'll go through each conference and we'll have a bit of a chat on some of the teams there. But specifically the KD injury, after Brooklyn have fought all the way through to second seed in the East. They've been dominating and playing great basketball. They won 4 of their last 5 games, and now their star player has gone down with an injury for 6 weeks.
Yeah, look, I think they're going to really struggle. I think we'll see them slip a little bit in that seed rank, and 6 weeks out, that probably means he's probably gonna aim to come back after All-Star break. So then they'll probably have to have a run in at the end of the season to try and get their rank back up a higher position in the Eastern Conference. He's been really good, KD. He carried the team when Kyrie was out through all the issues earlier on in the season. I think Kyrie is going to have to do the same for him. He's going to have to step up and carry a lot more of the load. You're going to have other guys and role players step up and help out. Ben Simmons, we're going to need more from him. We're going to need more from Seth Curry off the bench. You're going to need more from Joe Harris and all of these guys to pitch in, and because it's a lot out of your team. KD, he provides a lot for that ball club on a nightly basis. So yeah, look, it's up to the role players, and if they can sort of break even on those games where he's not going to be there, you probably call that a win. But they don't want to lose 80% of those games or 70% of those games, because then they'll be in they'll find themselves probably, it's very close, so they could find themselves down in 7th, 8th, around there again. So look, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But injuries, as we always say, Doma, health and injuries is something that can always stop a franchise from being successful in the season. And look, it is an MCL sprain, I believe. So 6 weeks, and 6 weeks. Maybe if there's a little bit of complications, could be 8 weeks. But he's going to be back, play some games, obviously, and then target a big playoff run. So yeah, look, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Nets.
100%. I'm not too worried on them when he comes back. The Pelicans are the ones that are actually suffering the most at the moment. They've lost 3 of their last 5. McCollum's definitely having to carry the load. Is Ingram playing? I don't think I've seen Ingram.
Nah, Ingram's injured as well.
He's out injured as well. So they're battling there. They're relying literally on Valanciunas and McCollum really at the moment.
Yeah, Valanciunas, McCollum, and then you've got Marshall, who's coming into the starting lineup and helping out. Look, they're doing okay, and they are still dangerous when they play at home, even without Zion and Ingram, because they're that crowd gets behind them, and they've been able to beat some good teams at home even without Zion and Ingram. But then they need those guys back, and if they do get those guys back and they can be healthy, as we've said, they'll be dangerous. They'll be dangerous.
Memphis is the top seed there in the West, Source, but over the Pels. But I think the best team in the West at the moment, and probably the best team in the league, it's safe to say. Obviously, that it's an opinion. You might disagree, but Denver is the best team in the league, in my opinion, at the moment. They're just the way that they're playing their basketball in their system. Jamal Murray's actually coming back into his own. Jokic is literally just MVP year type stats again, and the way he's carrying that ball squad. You got guys like Aaron Gordon, who's actually playing really well now in that system. Michael Porter Jr. is doing his job as a role player. So
they're quite healthy at the moment as well.
They got Highland as well, Source, which was a nice find for them.
I like Bones. I'm going to buy some Bones. I'm going to buy a Bones order. Just wait for him to die down. The hype on him to die down.
Will they do shit in the playoffs? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. They're a good regular season team. So
they're a good regular season team, and maybe it can be different this year. But we've seen what happens with Denver. Even if they are healthy, they get to the playoffs and they just sort of get found out. Can that change this season? Time will tell. But the Grizzlies excite me because they just won back-to-back games. Morant didn't play in both of those games. It was on a back-to-back, and they won both of them.
Your boys dominating.
They get results without Ja Morant, and then you bring Ja Morant back into that side, and it's like, is it even fair?
The best game. The best game they played was it at the start of the week or last week when they had Ja Morant, and they won. I forget who it was against, but they had 4 guys in their starting lineup. Like Ja Morant didn't have to have 40, for example. You know what I mean? Every guy was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
20 points. They all had 20 points. It was evenly spread. The bench chipped in as well. And, mate, if they can do stuff like that, Jaren Jackson's had 8 blocks in his last 2 games. He's absolutely dominating and
Yeah,
carrying them
Bane is
along
back.
with
Yeah,
Bane.
Bane's been balling out. So last 2 games, Bane's played well, and he's back. And so I really like this Memphis team. I think they can be dangerous in that West. And they just, Jaren Jackson's taking his defensive game, as we've seen, last year and then now this year, to another level. It was always the issue with him early on in his career. He would get in foul trouble. He would, try block shots that he probably shouldn't block and get fouls and things like that. He'd leave his feet. Just watching his improvement on defense is just phenomenal. Like, not getting caught on the shot fakes, keeping his feet, timing that leap, getting those blocks. Watch the passage of play today where he's got one block and then, you thought he blocked it straight to the Spurs player and then another Spurs player, and then he thought he had a wide open layup, and then all of a sudden he was just there and blocked his shot as well. It's like 2 blocks
The
within
funny,
about
the
3
funny thing
seconds.
is, Sauce, yeah, because he obviously had a very serious injury to his knee, so he didn't play an extensive amount of time. And this is the thing that a lot of people do forget. Like JJJ has, but that's your boy, and because it was your boy, you're watching him all the time. So you're watching him all the time. I'm watching him all the time. But this is the type of form that he was in before he got that injury. He was dominating. He was really good defensively. He was like a shot blocker. He was hitting threes. He was able to space the floor a lot better. It's just the team has progressed so much now and become so much better that if he gets back to the form that he's in now and could be consistent and injury free, yeah, they can cause real problems in the playoffs for a high caliber side that they can't get matched up with. And not for anything, they will be the team to beat.
Well, he spreads the floor, and I think like in a situation where potentially they match up against the Warriors, right? And the Warriors play Draymond Green at the 5, and maybe they go small ball. I mean, they put JJJ to the 5, still forces them to spread the floor. Then you got no rim protection at the rim, and Ja Morant's just gonna go to work. Like, he'll get to the rim at ease. So I really like the dynamics of that team. If teams do play 2 bigs, you've got Steven Adams, who's an absolute gun big, knows his role in the team and just rebounds hard and just plays, at 100% all the time. So look, I like the dynamic, and they got good bench depth as well. So look, Memphis is, in my opinion, is the team for me that's standing out in that West. I mean, look, Denver as well. I got to agree with you, but
Denver's
we've
very
seen,
good.
like,
But
we're going to see what happens in the playoffs. We know it's a different game once we get there.
Definitely. Any other teams I want to touch on in the West Source, but I will touch on the Lakers because Global has asked a question. I'll just run through a few things. Dallas has won 2 of their last 5. Golden State and LA the Clippers, LA Clippers that is, along with Houston, have the worst record over the last 5 games in the West. They've lost their last 5 straight games. We spoke about the Clippers last week, and we've spoken about Phoenix massively. All I will on the Phoenix topic, and Saucy will back me on this, is the time to see what Aiden can give us. All right? He's got no one there. I want to see Monty Williams as the coach, where he hasn't got all the pieces together. I want to see how well he can coach this side, and I want to see what Aiden can do, where he's the man, because this was the guy. Remember, Sauce? He cracked the shits with his contract, and I'm the man in this team, and I'm this. This is your time, all right? Players in the past have done it where they haven't had help. They've been got and they've carried it. Kyrie Irving did it in a shit team in Cleveland. He still stepped up every night and he dominated. They were horrific, but he was great. There's heaps of stories like that. Anthony Davis in New Orleans when they weren't great, and he was putting up big numbers, trying to help them win games. Kevin Love in Minnesota. So, all right, you got your opportunity. Now show us what you got. So there's no excuses for him. And he's had big games, but big games surrounded by great players is different to big games surrounded by no players. So when you're the man, what he's got. All right, let's get to the to Global's question. He says, do you think Westbrook should be able to win Sixth Man of the Year after being a previous MVP? Yes.
Yeah, why not?
That's more of a credit to Westbrook and his legacy. That's not a knock on him. The fact that he can be self-aware to say, oh, I got to change my role to become a sixth man and win, contributing to his team. Yeah, but they're not winning. He's not winning no six man award in 12th seed. I'm telling you that much for free.
Yeah, you can't win six man if you're in 12th
12th
seed.
seed.
I mean, he's been really good, Doma. I'm not going to lie. Like he's been really good
been
off
great.
the bench and he's been playing
Not in the
really
12th
well.
seed.
But I
Not
mean,
in
did
the
you see
12th
the
seed.
comments from what LeBron said? You know, I don't need to say anything. You know, they needed some
LeBron,
bullshit. Like he wants moves. They all want moves. I mean, if the Lakers are to do anything, we need different players.
Man,
I'm telling you, like we're not getting anywhere. Like we need to stop talking about Lakers. We can talk about LeBron and we'll talk about him when he breaks the record and all that sort of stuff. But I'm telling you guys, like as a Lakers fan that watches every single game, and you know I watch so many other teams, we just don't play a good brand of basketball. We have to score like nearly 80 points in the paint, 70 to 80 points in the paint every game to have a chance to actually win a game. And in today's NBA, where you have such good outside shooting and teams can go on crazy stretches and put up 45 points in a quarter and 50 points in a quarter with 3-point shooting, like it's just not going to happen, And you're not going to teams are going to shut off that paint, force you to shoot those outside shots. And we made a few over this last week, and we were able to win some games. But I'm telling you, the averages come back over a 7-game series. If the Lakers are to make the playoffs, the averages come back, and you find out what actually happens, and that's guys in those moments miss those shots. Pat Beverly's been making those shots this week. In the playoffs, tightens up. Pat Bev goes back to his averages of shooting 33% from three or whatever he averages, and he doesn't make those shots.
Global says, is it your roster or team dynamics? Like Saucy's saying, that this team can make the playoffs, but in the playoffs,
we can make the playoffs, and we could make the play-in. But I'm just saying, of course we can.
Yeah, but if you make it to the 7-game series, like you said, reduce roster. You only use 8 players. You're not using 15. You're always on a smaller rotation, getting your best players the most minutes. That means that, not for anything, your players get tired. And like Saucy's saying, on an 8-man rotation, Beverly's getting more minutes and he's getting tired over 7 games. Is he going to make all the shots that he's making now over an 82-game season where they can reduce his minutes? No, he's not. Simple as that. He's not. He might have one game where he goes off and he just can't miss. But then the next one, mate, we saw with Look. Last year in the playoffs, he had that game, he had 7 threes. The next night, he freaking went 0 from 8 or whatever it was. It was over a stretch. He went something like 2 for 17 and for threes over 3 games. Like, how's that help Luka the Don? Like, that's the example. There's so much more pressure in a playoff situation than there is right now. Like, it means nothing. Well, it does mean something for your position, but the stakes aren't high in this point in the season. Over to the East. We spoke about Brooklyn. The Bucks doing their thing. Cavs doing their thing. It's very consistent over in the East. The Knicks have put it together. Julius Randle's back to his Chris Bosh. Well, better than Chris Bosh player. I don't know, stats. He's putting on a clinic at the moment, so I'm surprised they haven't said he's better than Chris Bosh. The Heat are up into 8th. They were battling there they're still in the play-in, but Oladipo's back source. He's played a really good game the other day. He had 26 off the bench. So hopefully he can find his way into this rotation and help us out. Atlanta's trying to put some stuff together, but they're still struggling. The Bulls have improved from where they were a few weeks ago. Toronto's dropped. Washington's dropped. Orlando's still about there. Banchero's still putting on a clinic, sourced his boy. And then we've got the Hornets and the Pistons, which they're going nowhere. But some nice players on the Pistons there with Duran and Ivy looking pretty good. All-Star voting, James mentioned before. Hey, Matty Tabe, Happy New Year to you too. I'll bring this up. We'll quickly just go over this. We're not going to go too in depth because the next voting comes out tomorrow, the 12th. What's today? 10th. Thursday's the next voting for this. So Kyrie Irving for Eastern Conference guard is on top. Mitchell, Harden, Brown. I hope you can see that. Let me just zoom that in. Burden, which is deserving, in my opinion, he's been really good. But you got shit like I understand Derrick Rose off the bench, but he shouldn't even be there. LaMelo, DeMar DeRozan, Garland, he's the front court. KD. KD's been very good this year. Like, I know he's on top, that he's been very, very good. Giannis and B. In the end of the day, it all comes down to people voting for these guys. As you know, Source, in the past, they've voted for people like Reeves is a good role player, but should he be in the Western Conference guards in the top 10 for an all-star voting? No. Like, that's up to the people to vote for people like this. So, Jordan Poole, there's the front
Within
court.
1 year,
Boban made it through, like, to the shortlisting. So, when it's in the hands of the people, mate, you can get
Get the bots.
You can get Rocky the dog from Denver, the mascot, whatever his name is. You freaking get a gig in the All-Star game for all we know. Like, if it's up to us, so many lemons over there voting. All right, let's move on. There goes our American audience down the toilet. Football Source, EPL. Let's move on to their round 19.
Stupid. At the end of the day, none of those guys actually get in, Dom. Like, the league doesn't put them in.
I know. So it's like, let's open it up to the people. We'll give them the say, and then, they just choose who they want anyway. We had Brentford defeating Liverpool 3-1. Fulham defeated Leicester 1-0. Brighton defeated Everton 4-1. Newcastle and Arsenal drew. That helped my mob, Man United, against Bournemouth when they got a 3-0 win, which was fantastic. Nottingham 1-0 over Southampton. West Ham and Leeds drew. Tottenham defeated Crystal Palace 4-0. Villa and Wolves drew 1-1. And Chelsea and City was a 1-0 win to the Sky Blues, not the
Blues. What was Kepa
Chelsea
doing? Did you see that? What was he doing on that goal?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he just dive out and grab the ball with his hands? Did he forget that he's a goalkeeper?
So, we know Kepa is a Lamont. So anyway, they're signing every single person under the sun. Source,
Mendy must
mind you,
injured. That's the only reason he got the game.
But they're signing everyone under the sun. These guys, and I'm telling you, I think we said it last week. They can sign every single player that they want. They're still not going to win it. You can have João Felix. Mate, did you see that stat for João Felix they put out today? And they said, this is his chance. Everyone's telling me João Felix, yeah, playing at Atletico. In 96 games, he's kicked 25 goals and had like 20 assists in 96 games. And they're talking about this guy being the greatest thing of all time. Mate, he's going to come into the Premier League and he's going to get booked like... Mate, he's playing in La Liga, where he gets pushed to the ground every 2 seconds. You saw him in the World Cup get pushed around. He played good against nobody when their team won 7-0. That was his best game, or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Now he's going to come to the Premier League, where it's a physical league. Mate, unless this guy can get a bully bone in his body, he's just going to get bossed. Like, he was linked to us. I didn't want him. Are you kidding me? Man, I got... two Portuguese. Like, I see Bruno Fernandes run around there and dive to the floor. He dives more than Bruno Fernandes. So, I don't know.
He's soft. Nah, well, he's not the answer. I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you, he's not the answer. Graham Potter ain't the answer. He's fucking shit.
You know what the answer is, Source? You know what the answer is for Chelsea? In all honesty, go back to the blueprint you had when you were in the Champions League final against United in 2008. That's what you need to do. You need to get a proper target man up there, not duds like a Aubameyang. You know what I mean? And who's the other guy? Broja. Like, those duds are not winning you fucking the league. I know you won a Champions League like that, but that was a bubble Champions League. So it was anyone's to win. No crowds. There's no influence there. Like, and don't get me wrong, I was happy to see Chelsea win it. But... Havertz is not an answer. He's not going to score the goals. Havertz dominated playing like an attacking midfielding role at Leverkusen before he came to Chelsea. And now he's playing I know he scored goals for Germany.
They try to put him as a striker.
Yeah, but
they don't have many answers. That's all I can say. They don't have many answers.
No, they're struggling,
but,
in my opinion.
Doma, Gunners not good enough to get the points over Newcastle. I will say this, Dom. I will say this, and I'm telling you, if that was Argentina in the World Cup, they would have had a penalty because Arsenal should have had a penalty.
I saw it.
Gabriel was
It was a
manhandled. That
it
is
was
a
a pen.
penalty every day. He grabbed his jersey that much that the jersey, the front was nearly at the back.
I love how you say that. If it was Argentina, it would have been.
It was Argentina in the World Cup. That was a penalty every day of the
Mate,
week. They would have had 2 penalties. They
just a
would have got one for the
disclaimer. This has
handball
got
as well.
nothing. This has got
The handball. I don't think the handball one that Arteta was going on about in the second half. That wasn't a penalty for me. But that one there where he pulled his jersey like that, I can't believe they didn't go and at least look at the VAR. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. And Alan Shearer on the commentary. All right, I understand you're a Newcastle, legend, right? But to turn around and say, "Oh, that's not a penalty," if you're giving that, you're giving 10 penalties a game. Show me 10 occasions where the front of the guy's top is actually at the back because he's holding him that much and twisting it that much. Yes, it happens a lot, and there are little shirt pulls, but that was a shirt like tear, not a pull. He nearly tore his shirt off his torso. I was baffled. I couldn't believe we didn't get a penalty. And look, Newcastle played well, but and we didn't do enough to score. We had some chances, but it's points missed, and we still got to play Manchester City twice, Doma, once away and once home. And I think that's where potentially it could all come down to.
The games this week, Sauce. Saucy's going to be wearing his Man United jersey this week. I'll tell you that much. We've got Fulham versus Chelsea's the first one. We've got Leeds, Villa, Brighton, Liverpool, Everton, Southampton, Nottingham, Leicester, Wolves, West Ham, Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Palace, Fulham, Newcastle, Tottenham, Arsenal in the London derby there. You want to win that one. Ooh. And then Saucy, the big one for everyone here in Australia, Saturday night, 11:30 p.m. So it is a fantastic time. Manchester United versus Manchester City in the Manchester derby. Saucy's wanting United to win, and I'm wanting United to win because if we can snag the win here, we'll be 1 point behind City in second. So this is how the table looks. United's run of form at the moment has been fantastic. And this is how it looks. Arsenal on top on 44. 5 points behind is City. We've got Newcastle, United, Tottenham, Liverpool.
You're
Fulham,
back in the race, Doma.
Back in the race. No Sue, no worries. No Sue,
back
no
in
worries.
The race, mate. And what's to say if you don't get the result here against City on the weekend? That will put you to 38. Could be back in the hunt for the title potentially.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we've got a game in hand on Newcastle as well, as you can see. They've played 18, we've played 17. So
there you go.
If we can get that win, we're technically a game clear of them in third and a point behind City, which is pretty impressive. And if you look at our it doesn't have the next 5 coming up. But yeah, as we mentioned with Chelsea down here, they're struggling. Liverpool's battling a bit as well in 6th. Any other surprises? Leeds just needs to stay there for us, as we love them. Everton, would love to see them stay up as well. West Ham's in a bit of a struggle street. But yeah, the Gunners holding on. A result is better than no point, Sauce, so you take the 1. Like, you got to take it against the top 4 side. It's not a bad result. The penalty was a howler, but not a bad result. All right, let's move on to the NFL. Saucy, this was the last week of competition. It's done and dusted. And we're moving on to the playoffs, which I can't believe it. There's going to be, the podcast is coming. It's coming. We're going to work it out with Matty Cams. It's coming. All right. It's probably going to have to be tomorrow or Thursday. But
it's been coming forever.
Yeah, it is, but it's going to be there. The round 18 results, Saucy, were, I love seeing this, some interesting stuff here. The Lions beat the Packers 20-16. Broncos over Chargers 31-28. Eagles over Giants 22-16. 49ers over the Cardinals 38-13. Seattle defeated the Rams 19-16. Commanders 26-6 over the Cowboys. They slapped them. Falcons 30-17 over the Bucks. Bills over Patriots 33-23. Vikings over Bears 29-13. Cincy over the Ravens 27-16. Texans over Colts 32-31. Dolphins defeated the Jets in a toilet bowl game there 11-6. Saints lost to the Panthers 7-10. Steelers over Brown 28-14. Jacksonville 20-16 over the Titans, and the Chiefs smacked the Raiders 31-13. And that sets up Sauce round one here of the playoffs. So to kick it all off, 49ers against the Seattle Seahawks. Who would have thought the Seahawks would be playing Sauce? Who would have thought?
Gino.
They're in there with Geno Smith. You'll be able to go a lot more in depth with Matty Cams on this, but I'll just read out who's playing and obviously be able to go more in depth in that podcast. But we've got the Jags against the Chargers, which is going to be great. Trevor Lawrence gets into his first playoffs, which is fantastic. We've got the Bills against my mob, the Dolphins. Not looking forward to that one at
Bills
all.
Mafia is going to romp ya.
Yeah, we're going to get romped. Vikings against Giants. The fact that New York's in there is unbelievable. Bengals against Ravens, and then the Buccaneers against the Cowboys. And the word on the street by all the pundits is the Buccaneers are just going to roll straight in and slap Dallas. That's what they reckon. They reckon Dallas has been fool's gold. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that one. We'll have to wait and see. So that's coming up, Sauce, this week, the 15th, which is on Sunday morning. All the games kick off from 8:30 all the way through to 12:15 on the Sunday. Monday, 5 a.m. and 8:30, and then 12:15, and then Tuesday, Bucks versus Cowboys, 12:15. Stay tuned for them. Looking forward to it, Sauce. I'll be honest, the World Cup smashed me personally with the NFL games this year. I wasn't able to get as many as I wanted. So.
I've watched a few here and there. Look,
yeah.
I'm gonna just say, Doma, I'm not that super passionate about the NFL. I like watching it, but I wouldn't say I'm like, follow it like I do the NBA. Definitely don't follow us that much, and just the time the games are on, and I don't have the league pass or anything like that, so I can't really watch them on demand or all of that. I really actually want to go watch them later on because they're ridiculously long. You can watch the 10-minute highlights on YouTube, which in my opinion is the best part about it.
It's elite.
Like extended highlights, 10 minutes. But yeah, look, it's going to be a big season. I've got money on the Chiefs to win it all, so I want the Chiefs to win it all because I put that on at the start of the season. And yeah, look, let's see how it plays out.
Definitely. All right, Sauce, I'm going to throw it to you for some UFC.
Oh, UFC. Let me hang on. Let me just bring up the card for this week. The first card of the year. This Doma UFC segment is sponsored by Roll Clean Soap, Australia's #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Roll Clean Soap is a proud family-run Australian business. Roll Clean Soap is made with natural ingredients and keeps you clean on and off the mats. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. Walk in with confidence with Roll Clean Soap and destroy the competition. Roll Clean offers a wide range of products in assisting post-training recovery. Our magnesium bath salts, bath bombs, boost balm, and can help ease those aches and pains after a hard training session. Roll Clean offers many soap varieties to choose from. Just visit www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up on social media. Roll Clean, we've got your back. There it is. Best in the business. Doma took some on holidays with him, so he's been smelling fresh his whole holidays. Right. Special Roll Clean Soap, the best soap there is. Go check them out. Thank you very much, Roll Clean.
Very nice.
All right, Doma, we'll leave that up while we go through this. We've got the first card of the year, Sunday, 15th of January, 11 a.m. It kicks off, and it is going to be a big one. The headliner, the light heavyweight, Sean Strickland against Nazruni Umanov, and the co-main event, Danny Ing against Damian Jackson. This kicks off from the 11 a.m. Sunday. And then I think the following one, Jesus, that's a nice card. So the next week, the following after that, we'll do a bigger preview, much bigger card, UFC 283 main event. But nonetheless, it's back again for another year. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be a big year of UFC. There's going to be some rematches that we want to see that from last year. There could be some trilogy matchups as well. It's going to be big. We look forward to it. UFC, sponsored by Royal Clean.
There you go. Done and dusted. UFC done. Looking forward to the first card. So I think it's going to be a big year, as we said in the wrap-up of UFC before it went on that break. 2023 is going to be huge. And like you said, there's some big trilogies that are set and scheduled to be fought in this calendar year. Interesting one, Source, before we get to the Le Mans of the week. We're going to talk some tennis, all right? And we're going to continue to talk tennis on this podcast, I think for 2023 in total. Because Saucy and I actually watch it. It's one sport we do watch. Grand Slams, particularly. We're not going to cover ATP tournaments. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Grand Slams, we're going to talk about it, all right? Some interesting stuff. We'll talk men's and women's. Obviously, we've seen Radonascu, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and Osaka both out in the women's comp, which is a bit of a blow for the tournament and the talent crop in the women's tournament pool. And then obviously in the men's, the big one is Carlos Alcaraz. He's not going to play. He's injured, so he is out of the Australian Open. But your thoughts on this before we get into, obviously, the title of this show. And if you know us two lemons, you know that we love the king. And just your thoughts. You're looking forward to this tournament, Source?
Yeah, looking forward to the tournament.
Who you think's going to win it?
Yeah, looking forward to the tournament as we do every year. And look, I'm just glad that the man was allowed back in the country. He's back. Novak, my favorite player. I've grown fond of him. He's my favorite player. A lot, obviously the Fed is pretty much, he's done.
He's done. He retired.
He's
gone.
officially retired.
He's done.
He was my favorite player. So you got to adopt someone new. Look, obviously I like Kyrgios as well. But I like Novak. He's back. The bookies have him at $1.91 favorite to take out the tournament, and it's hard to disagree. That is bumper odds. I mean, crazy to think that he could be below $2, but he is, and I have to agree with it. I can't see anyone else potentially beating him. He's coming back to this tournament to stick it right up the Australian Tennis Association and the whole of Australian, not public, because
world
not
tennis, man,
thing, but the government, because they didn't let him in last time, and pretty much said, well, we all know what's happened, right? It's all
time to go
jam
it
now,
like pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
It's all bullshit now. So he's allowed back, Doma, and he's going to win it. He's going to take it out. Novak will take it out. The only other person that I would want to win is Kyrgios himself. We will get a little preview of that matchup, Kyrgios versus Novak, won't we, Doma? Because there's
exhibition game.
Exhibition game.
Kyrgios put this up during the week, and this is just typical old Doma sarcasm about to come out here on the Double Coverage podcast. The first of 2023, mind you. As you can see, the king, he put up this photo. The comment says, I'll always say, keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and wait to find out which is which. Bit of rhyming. It's pretty good. I like it. Very nice. Everyone's G'ing up. But this is the best one. All right, Source. As you said, they are playing an exhibition game at Rod Laver Arena on Friday this week. Tickets sold out in 58 minutes. They sold out Rod Laver. Money's gone to a charity. which is surprising considering Kyrgios is the worst person on planet Earth, according to every single person that watches the idiot box. Hence why you're an idiot, straight out. So he then tweeted out something. The king tweeted out. He goes, "Well, Nick Kyrgios is bad for the sport. Well, what a disgrace, a national embarrassment. How dare he sell out another stadium? The arrogance." What do you got to say? That's all. This is what I keep saying to everyone. You played in a Wimbledon final and everyone crapped on, oh, he's a disgrace to the sport. He's a disgrace to our country. Shut the hell up. Everyone keeps saying this guy does no good for anything outside of the tennis community. You don't research. You watch the idiot box and they tell you he's an idiot. He's not. He's genuinely helping out charities. He's got his own charity. He's setting up an exhibition game with arguably the best player to ever play the sport. They sold it out. Proceeds are going to a charity. And you're still going to hate him. And then you're going to, I'll tell you, Source, I'm telling you what's happening here. They're going to turn this whole thing into this is a redemption thing for Novak to try and change his image because he made such a big blunder last year. So he's just trying to look like a good guy and be genuine. I already know what the media is going to do. I'm telling you the story before it happens. I'm just telling you. Where's all the other Le Mans when they have their home Grand Slams doing the charity tournaments? Tell me. Show me. Outside of Federer and Nadal putting on like exhibition games and charity money going there, where's all the other Le Mans that you all love? Show me. I want to see it. If not, from yours truly to all of you that love the idiot box and everything that they say about this guy, from yours truly to you, you have to just go and eat a dick. As simple as that. You just got to stop. You just got to stop. You're looking like a moron now. You're actually looking like a moron. Straight up. You look like idiots. Just shut your mouth.
You 100% make a good point, Doma. And look,
yes,
we've spoken about this before. He carries on like a
court.
two-bob watch on the court when things don't go his way. I said, but there's been a number of great legends over the past that have done that now are part of on the commentary team. And you know, you look at it up to him like he was a great of the game.
Yeah,
like,
McEnroe.
You know,
he didn't do anything.
Look, he is improving, and you know, I think that step he took to make that Wimbledon final last year was, you know, the first step that maybe there is a point where Nick Kyrgios could win a Grand Slam. I mean, he's still pretty young. He's still got quite a few years left in the sport, right? So potentially make another Grand Slam, and look, I think it's going to be tough if Novak's in every single one. But if there's a tournament where maybe Novak gets knocked out or he can't play through injury or the like, and he's there, I mean, why not? I think that's you know how some of the guys last season were able to get their first Grand Slams with Novak not being in there.
Novak won 100% of the Grand Slams that he played in last year, Source, which was one.
There you go. Played one and he won it.
He played Wimbledon and he won it. He wasn't allowed to play the other three. So we got all these, like Nadal won Australian Open. Was it Australian he won? Yeah, he won Australian and French last year. I'm pretty sure Nadal. And then you got Alcaraz winning US. But Djokovic wasn't allowed to play in 3 of the 4. And the one he played in, he won. He beat Kyrgios. And when Kyrgios had a run of form. So I'm just telling you, I'm putting it out there. This is the guy, Djokovic, won 100% of the Grand Slams that he played in without playing ATP Tour events because he wasn't allowed to play those as well. So this guy's hitting up against just hit-up players in his warm-up. All these other guys are playing against everyone on the tour throughout the whole calendar year. He plays one Grand Slam and he wins it. That just shows how good he is. He was banned from playing. It's just, he's phenomenally good, Djokovic. I don't care. Nadal's got more Grand Slams. And, like, I'm the one that Federer's my favorite player, yeah. But Djokovic is the best player to play out of the 3 of them. Like, he's beaten them the most. Like, he's done everything. The stats don't lie, mate. He's slapped them the most when it comes to playing them in finals. He's the one that's bullied them. He was the guy that worked out how to beat Nadal by hitting flat. Like, he counteracted pretty much his topspin. Like, it was unbelievable. He's a freak. And it's good. This is a good story, Source, because, you know, they hated each other, these two blokes. And then Nick Kyrgios backed him last year with all the stuff that happened. And he said, mate, that's his choice. Let him do what he wants to do. Just get over yourselves. And Djokovic came out recently in Adelaide. They asked him about Kyrgios, and he said, mate, we've had our differences in the past and we didn't like each other. But he goes, you know what? This is a guy that stood next to me in the darkest year of my career. And he goes, I've got a lot of respect for him. And they've come together. They're doing a good cause. And I just hope the media, I said that the media is going to do something, but I pray that they just don't, right? Give props to the two guys. They're doing this for a great cause, yeah. So just don't. For once in your lives, prop it up as a good thing for sport. Don't be idiots. Don't be
No, we can't guarantee
like
that, Dom. And we
can't
like.
guarantee shit, Source. We can't guarantee shit.
They always looking for an angle to tear this bloke down, mate. Even after
positive
all of the great things that he's done for community and charities and everything.
Bushfires, he did that one too. The bushfire thing.
We know. We've spoken about it on the show.
Everyone's forgotten about that stuff. Oh, he's done nothing. You just clowns. You morons.
People
go listen to Peter
memories,
Hitchener and all these clowns. They've got no idea. Fuck, they just read off a teleprompter. They get told what to say. These morons. You fucking got no clue. Idiots.
This is me, man. I'm controlling the little puppet down below.
Oh, unbelievable. Anyway, looking forward to it. We're going to cover tennis this year. Go Nole and go the King, mate. I'll be following the King all the way through. Hopefully he can win it. Which era is better, this lot or the Sampras?
Philippoussis did not win a Grand Slam Global. Oop. He was he made the final. I think he made 2 finals. I just looked it up. And no, he didn't.
Which era is better, this lot or Sampras and Agassi? Sampras and Agassi era?
I can't really comment too much, man. How much of that did I really see? My era of tennis, what I would say has been, I would say first, Leighton Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt was good in that area where, that was where
you still had Agassi Source playing. We saw Sampras on the back end.
It was toward the end of his career, though. It wasn't not when Agassi was at his prime.
Nah, but we saw Roddick and Nalbandian, Safin, those guys are the prime of us.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, Federer coming in, Nadal coming in. If you have to go based on that,
for as long as I can remember, it's been Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, man.
Yeah, but they've played. Yeah, but Federer and Nadal pretty much shared both eras, and then they were touted as the 2 best players to ever play. And then Djokovic has just come in and he caught up to both of them. We had Murray too, but in terms of the new crop, guys like Dominic Thiem and Sinner, Medvedev, they're good players, but there's no one with I don't know. This is why I like Nick Kyrgios. I don't like everything that he does, but there's a bit of flair and there's personality with people. I just think a lot of tennis players now that they're built like robots. I don't relate to Dominic Thiem. I don't relate to Medvedev at all. They just, to me, they seem boring. Tsitsipas tries to start beef with everyone in the locker room. I don't know. I don't relate to those guys. And Zverev, even Zverev, you don't even relate to him. You don't.
I'll have to agree.
That's the problem. Where I like that era a lot better because they had flair and spunk about them. Their personality was awesome, and you could love Agassi and Roddick and the hothead and Nalbandian. That's Safin, who was pretty much Kyrgios but a lot better, smashing rackets and yelling and
Marat,
big Marat, the
Russian. He was Russian, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's fucking gun, mate. We had Rafter too.
He won an Australian Open. He won an Australian Open.
Beat Hewitt in the final, I'm pretty sure. The Rat? Was it Hewitt he beat? I'm pretty sure it was.
He had a great backhand, double-handed backhand.
And a big serve. But the game's changed, Source, from serve and volley to playing behind the baseline a lot more, and a lot's changed. Now it's a big serve.
The technology of the rackets as well.
Yeah.
And the velocity that you can get on the ball with, the rackets and how heavy the rackets now. They're very light. You know. So
anyway, we'll cover it, Source. We'll keep you posted. And
we'll be covering it, and the weeks that the Oz Open is on, we'll obviously talk about it on the show and go into it. So I'm
just excited for the next segment, to be honest with you. Le Mans of the week. you're ready to already give a Le Mans for 2020. This is the first one of 2023.
Yeah, first Le Mans coming right up.
Here we go. It's all you.
Now, Doma, look, we know obviously the updates with Hamlin.
Yeah.
He's responsive. Things
Yeah.
are looking on the up.
Yeah.
And we
Which is
spoke
great.
about it on the show last week. It was fresh, like it just happened, and we spoke about it. And I've had some time to process and go through everything. And look, as what I'll say again, it's good that everything is looking up for him. But this Le Mans goes to the organization for trying to continue the game after something of that magnitude has taken place on the field. The NFL, with all full purposes, Doma, was telling the players to start re-warming up until the coaches stepped in and said, no. We're calling this game off. In the meantime, the greedy pigs forced, people on the screens to just watch advert after advert. They have a little bit of chat, then they go through to some ads, and that went on for like 45, 50 minutes, I believe, Doma. So, for being absolute greedy, money-hungry pigs, which we know that the NFL and Roger Goodell and the like are, you are lemons. Absolute despicable act, disgrace. NFL, you should be ashamed, but it's nothing that I'm surprised about, because we've seen what sort of organization they're running there at the NFL and stuff they've done in the past. So I'm not surprised that they did try to start the game again, but it was a despicable act and it should have never happened. And I'm glad the game did never restart. It's the first time that's ever happened on a football field. In the NFL, they've never seen something of that the like. I mean, obviously you have injuries where guys do their knees and they might have crazy broken bones sideways, and that's one thing. But for a guy to heart issue,
almost die, Sauce. Let's be blunt. Like, almost died.
He nearly died.
It's been reported now that obviously he got resuscitated on the field. He's pretty much gone. He got resuscitated with CPR. I'm pretty sure I've read that he got resuscitated twice through CPR from the moment it happened to the hospital, where he was pretty much gone, and they brought him back to life. So, mate, and this, not just the state, we spoke about it last week, not even the state of the people in the crowd, but the state of the teammates. Mate, one of them, mate, did you see Josh Allen? Like, in those scenes of those guys, like, they didn't look like any condition to go back out and finish a game.
For sure. Exactly.
Fuck, like, it's
disgrace.
It's pretty disgraceful, mate. In all honesty, it actually is a disgrace. It's shit house. Poor form by them. Like, and people just let them get away with it once again, like they always do. Like, letting women bashers and sexual assault offenders and all these other people back in the league. Oh, it's a second chance. But the league this time, this is a player active on a current roster. I know it's the first time, and you can't say, oh, it's the first time, so we didn't know what to do. Mate, it's pretty obvious what you do. You don't play the game. Like, anyway, morons. So, good Le Mans Sauce to start off the year, to be honest. Let's get to Hobby Talk, brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thank you to the legends at Platinum Standard Grading, bringing you Hobby Talk for another week. Saucy, let's get straight into this. Project 2022. We've got Joshua Kimmich by Bofeng Lin. We have Reece James by Vincent Aseo. We've got
I like
Pierre.
the design of that Reece James card. I'm not a Reece
Yeah, I
James
do
fan
too.
or
I
anything,
do
but I
too.
think the design's really good. If it was a player that I actually liked, I would have definitely picked one up. Kalulu's
Pierre
nice too.
Kalulu. Yeah, the Kalulu's nice by Doley. We've got Declan Rice by Stanley Chow and Gio Reyna, the Mummy Suka by Orlando Aracena. I don't know if you saw that. Have you heard that story, Source?
Yes, I did catch it.
He didn't get picked.
Somewhere.
Well, I'll just go through it. Gio Reyna obviously didn't get picked for the US men's national team. He sooked to his mum, and his mum actually rang up the coach and had a sook to him and had a crack at him. Talk about a helicopter parent. Jesus. Mate, I'm telling you right now, if an adult, like, if my parent went and did that, like, or a parent, I was the coach, I would say, well, he's never playing for the team ever again. Like, as simple as that. That is,
What the
honestly,
hell?
that
It's
could
like
have been
he's,
lemon
it's
worthy.
like he's 13.
Yeah, I know.
That's what
Legit.
you do. That's what you do in your when you're at primary school and you're in the grade 6 sports team and you don't not go to many minutes. So you tell your mum, you're saying, "Hey, he's not bringing me on off the bench."
Hey,
So
I
and
can
then
tell you a
you ring
story.
up the teachers, and has a go and say, "Hey, we're supposed to be participating in sport."
Happened to me. It happened to me, mate. When I was coaching my team at my old job, it happened to me. I had 80 kids try out for the soccer team. There's an A and a B. There's only 32
Yeah.
spots because we take 16. And I get a phone call, and the parent was like, "My son has to play in the team in the A's." And I said, "I can't put him in either team." And the parent didn't even backtrack and said, "Oh, can you at least put him in the B's?" Which wasn't going to happen anyway. Because I'll be honest with you, out of the short list, he didn't make the top 50. So he was never getting a spot.
Oh, it must have been
So
pretty bad.
no, it wasn't bad, but Source, when you play for an MPL club and you pay $5,000 a year because you think your kid's going to play for uh, Juventus or United and be the next Ronaldo, you know what I mean? When you actually come into an environment when you're playing against 85 kids or 90 kids that are trying out for something, and they all play at all these different clubs, but there's an MPL club that's better than your one, and they're in a better system. Obviously, the talent pool's a lot better. Anyway, I pretty much just said I can't put your kid in. And they said you can make an exception. And I said, if I make an exception for your kid, I'm going to make an exception for the other 60 kids that I turn back, or 50 kids or whatever it was that I turned back.
Yeah.
So I said, it's not good. I said, unfortunately, well, I was pretty blunt. I said, this is actually what I said. I said, unfortunately, it's not good enough to make either team, but I really do encourage him to work hard and hopefully become better so he can compete and try and break into one of the teams for next year. Yeah, it sounds pretty ruthless, but hey, mate, that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby. Hey,
That's
just
the
because
reality.
when you get to real life, just because you want the job doesn't mean you're going to get it. Unless daddy owns the company, it's a bit freaking different. Or he knows someone. But you can't just walk in there and say, I want to be CEO of Apple. Come on, man. Be realistic. You got to be a shit kicker first to become top dog. That's the way it works, mate. Yeah. I was Mourinho in that situation, or Ten Hag, not good enough.
He wasn't putting in
Get
the
rid
work.
of him.
He wasn't putting in the work.
Nah.
I can't believe that. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Gio
Global
Reyna's
said he
mum, he
coached-
could have got a lemon this week, I reckon.
Yeah. Coached juniors for 10 years, says Global. Mate, you would have been hammered. Anyway, let's start off the next topic. Global just sent me his SMC shipment. Came back. You can make me big if you want. Saucy.
Oh, what has he got in there? Well, it's blurry as.
Better.
There we go. Yeah, there's a lot.
I see
Can't
Kobe
see much,
White
though.
in there. What else is in here? I'll tell you what he's got. Kobe White. Trying to see. There's Jordan All-Star in there. It's a Fleer. A couple of Jordans down below, if you can see them.
Picked up some inserts. I know he's buying a lot of inserts.
There's the Jordans down below.
Kobe inserts? Oh, I think he just bought Jordan. Just Jordan galore. You can't go wrong with Jordan. You can't go wrong.
He's got a Ben Simmons patch in there. Oh, let's go. Look at that. Philly patch.
Oh,
Ben
yeah?
Simmons.
Nice.
Is that NT? I think that's NT. Looks like NT. Josh Giddey. 75th anniversary prism in there. Very nice. There's a fair few giddies I can see. Like that. Awesome. Congrats,
Giddy
man.
up.
It's good. He's been buying some stuff, which is fantastic. Next up, we have Saucy's favorite product for good reason this year, because it's actually going to have Banchero rookies, and this is what he's waiting for. So 22-23 hoops basketball.
He's going to be so
8
expensive,
cards.
man.
Yeah, I know. 8 cards per pack and 24 packs per box. Find 1 auto per box of a rookie, vet, or retired player in Hot Sig rookies, Hoops Inc., or Rookie Inc. Search for hobby exclusive rare red parallels numbered to 25 of each set. Collect the unique hobby exclusive insert designs to showcase NBA stars, old and new, with tons of variety. Hunt for spark plugs, hypnotized, hoops throwback, and many more sets that can be found in the hobby products. Search for a variety of base parallels, including hobby exclusive silver numbered to 199, green to 99, gravity to 75, artist proof to 25, artist proof gold to 10, and artist proof black. Here are some of the designs. Saucy, for yourself and everyone that watches at home. He's Giddy. Jalen Green, artist proof there. Luke of the Don, artist proof. Spark plugs of Anthony Edwards. He's hypnotized. You need to be on freaking acid for that card. Trae Young.
Jeez.
Throwback Ja Morant. Cade Cunningham. Ink. No surprise. Sticker. Hot Sigs. Is there auto on that? Am I missing something there? That's probably. It's up the top.
It's up the top.
There you go. Jaden Ivey, who's been very good. Duran's also been good. There you go. That's just the info on the product. Thoughts, Saucy?
Yeah, look, entry-level product. Box prices, I believe hobby boxes are cheaper than last year's release. So, good that things are getting cheaper. Let's hope that can happen with more and more box, different products. But yeah, look, good entry product. Always a fun rip hoops. Don't go too crazy, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, as Global reckons, box prices have dropped at least 30% in my opinion. Yeah, look, I've noticed a bit of box prices of certain things dropping, so which is good to see. So maybe we can actually have some fun ripping some product once again. Yeah.
There you go. Next one up, Sauce. This is a nice one. Topps Chrome F1. We just like talking about this product because we told you after 2020 to stop collecting it. So here's some of the rookies. So Logan Sargent is an American driver. This is not his rookie. It's his F2 card and his refractor auto. As you can see, the sticker is actually crooked, which is pretty nice. That went for $350. And then we got Zhou Guanyu, $850 for his number to 25 auto. Then we got a gold checker of Logan Sargent, Future Stars to 50. That is $225 US. And we got a Lewis Hamilton mini diamond to $299 for $200. So, few interesting.
Why are
things.
people paying that much for Grosjean Yu, Doma? He's never ever going to get a seat to be good in F1. He'll probably actually be gone within the next 3 to 5 seasons.
You reckon? He could. He could. This is a good comment. Strong early sales. If you want some other big tier comps, Lewis Hamilton orange auto sold for $3,200 on Whatnot. That's not a verified sale. And Max Verstappen orange auto sold for $2,500 on private sale. Okay, if you want to spend that much money, go for your life, if you ask me. I sold that Logan, says Saucy World. Not this Saucy, a different Saucy. Apparently.
Sorry, but what are they? What is he talking about? Something to 25. I would not be paying that much to just like a Lewis Hamilton numbered card out of that Topps.
Here's this was the best
Crazy.
grader in 2022 question that was put out there, and last week Gemray published year in review data on the major grading companies. The numbers above are the sports cards only. And what do you think about the difference in volume? So this is only sports cards, ladies and gents. If you're watching this, if you're listening at home, PSA graded 7.4 million cards, sports cards. SGC 919,000. So the discrepancy there is massive. Is 6 million. Then we had CSG graded 635,000, which is actually 128,000 more cards than what BGS graded last year, which in my opinion is the biggest surprise. That BGS has dropped from third to fourth, because we know SGC is better than Beckett anyway. That doesn't have to be debated anymore. So let's be straight up. So there you go. Very interesting. The comments are interesting. Poolwack says at SGC grading is my goat. It's fair enough. Brian's card says SGC up. They have 100% of my support. PSA is the king for grading, says extraordinary underscore card. Beckett is only good for thicker cards. SGC is good for vintage. Everything else is white noise. Not by the looks of CSG.
This person that this myth, this
Gunnar Henderson
bullshit,
says
that
also
myth
Beckett has
that
the
people are
best looking
saying about
slabs. I agree. They do have some of the best looking
SGC
slabs.
is only good for vintage.
It's all YouTube
Just
influencers saying
lemons,
BGS is
mate.
bad while they pitch their SGC and PSA services on people. If people can only get their hobby knowledge from new people who haven't done cards for years, then they are being misled. BGS is more for luxury high-end cards, not for base stuff. Yeah, that's fair enough. I like that. That's a fair comment. But BGS has done nothing to help themselves in their terms of branding for over a year. So
we'll see. Look, their prices are
it's
coming
all about
down a little
marketing
bit. As
themselves.
I sent some cards there recently. You know,
muted,
BGS got
muted
them back
source.
in a
I
pretty
can't hear for some
timely
reason.
manner. Hello.
Can people hear source? Just let me know. Maybe it's just me.
Testing.
Probably just me, source. Wouldn't surprise me.
I think it's you, brother, because my microphone is working.
Shit.
Let me know, Global, if you can actually hear me speaking in the comments. That'd be handy. Thank you. Yeah, gem rate do break it down good. Global. And it's interesting to have a look at these statistics that they bring up. We know, as Doma mentioned, SGC's picked up the game a lot, and as I was saying, Doma didn't respond because he couldn't hear me because his AirPods have probably gone flat battery on him. But the fact is, that people that are saying now, still to this day, that SGC is only good for vintage, nothing else. Well, you're just naive and stupid. Like, I can understand people not liking the black tux slab. Like, I get it, but
I think shit itself, Source. I got to boot out. Sorry, ladies and gents.
I'll tell you what, ladies and gents, I missed a Kamaru Usman auto that went for, it was an SGC 10 tie-dye out of the latest select. I think it only went for $70. I got a notification and then lost, unfortunately, got caught up doing something in that 15 minutes when you get that notification. Forgot to check back and then checked and seen that it only went for 70, and I was spewing because some lemon paid for a PSA 9 probably, a few weeks earlier, like 120 USD, and this was a SGC 10 Usman auto tie-dye number to 25, went only for 70. So yeah, look, their grades are legit. They do grade pretty well. I would say that their grading is probably more stringent than PSA. We've seen the issues with PSA and over and over again. And SGC has those issues. Every grading company does. So I just think, I feel that SGC has fine-tuned their process and a bit better, and they make less of those mistakes less frequently. So look, they are all the companies good. essentially, and they've all got their purpose. That's why also we use PSG, platinum standard grading, and grade some of our other cards that maybe just for PC, or we don't want to send them overseas, and we want a cheaper option here in Australia that can still give us quality, and that's what the boys down at PSG provide. So if you're looking for an Australian option, there's those options as well. So look, we'll always say this: it's not necessary. It's not necessary to grade at all if you don't, if you just want to collect the cards and you don't want to enhance the value of your card, or you don't give a fuck about the value and it's about collecting for you. You don't need to grade. So don't grade if you don't want to. But if you do, choose the company that fits you the best and move on from there. All right. I don't know where the hell Domer is.
I'm back in.
He's back. There
No,
he is.
I don't know.
There he is.
Or like it would work. I was coming in and out of the stream, and like I'd be able to hear you for the first second, and then the audio would just go dead, and everything was connected. So I've just gone no headphones, nothing. I just go through the computer. Saucy's probably broken that down 10 times better than what I could have done anyway. So
No, I was just rambling on like a lunatic as usual. But yeah, got there.
I had one last thing to show before we get into the final thing of today's show, but I'll bring up my screen again. So I have to redo everything. Yeah, this is just a sales breakdown. 1 year apart. So it's why do you think far more Luka Doncic cards were sold via auction in December 2021 than December 22? Interesting to see sales volume relatively the same, but it's minus 7% on the listing types, extremely different. Sales volume is provided by Cardladder. So there you go. So sales in December, 9,100. So 7,333 by auction, 1,770 by bin or best offer. And then this year, 8,461 in total, 5,346 by auction, and 3,115 via bin or best offer. So your thoughts, Saucy, on declined sales of Luka the Don?
Less cards sold in general? Is that what that means?
Yeah, sales over a 12-month period.
Well, people are holding on to their Lucas. They believe in the man. That's what that tells me. And people are stashing them away and they're protecting him because they think he's going to be a special player. And it'd be hard to disagree with that. I don't know what we're reading too much into. I think, smarter, savvy people aren't selling their Luka cards right now. They're probably holding on to him because value has probably dropped. You probably did miss the opportunity to sell at the probably highest you were going to get for any Luka cards until maybe future. I think that hype train's sort of gone. They are still super expensive, but maybe you can't get that top dollar like you could have 12 months ago. And, people are going, well, I'm going to believe in him and hold on to his card. So less on the market. That's how I read that.
Done. Very nice. I'm probably the same as you, to be honest there. Were you able to cover Ashton's question? So sorry. He said, hey, let's say PSA are grading too quickly and carelessly or just have 10 times more graders on board. He thinks both. We did say that PSA spends 30 seconds a card, mate.
We told the numbers have been broken down based off what gets reported by GemRate and based off what was reported in an interview at the time. Right, this is how it all got broken down, ladies and gentlemen. There was an interview at the time that Nat Turner did with someone, whatever, and he said that now we've got X amount of graders, and he said a number, right? And then someone released, they got those numbers released from GemRate at the end of the month, right? And they broke down with that number that Nat Turner had said that how many graders that they have working for them, that if they were working, say, 8-hour days or 10-hour days, for example, and how many cards were graded in that month, how much time per grader would have to be spent on each of the cards. And it worked out to something ridiculous like 45 seconds, right? 45 seconds or a minute, right? It was no more than a minute that they were spending per card. right? Based off those numbers that people had worked out. So you tell me, Ashton, I think it's probably them grading a hell of a lot faster and carelessly, because we've seen the results and some of the absolute trash that they've put out, and on some big cards, big Jordan cards and other inserts and stuff like that, that if you do get a PSA 10, it's worth an absolute dime. And they still fuck it up. I mean, look, I think, and that's why I always say, it just baffles me why people pay so much for a PSA label when we know how little time they're actually spending on each card.
Exactly. All right, Saucy. Let's finish it on a good note. You've got an opening, so we're going to make you big. I'm going to end it on a positive. Both of us don't know what's happening here. So, Saucy's got the delivery of our Topps Project 22 cards. He's just going to open them because, as you know, when you buy the cards, you may have the chance to get a numbered variant of the card.
Yep.
So Saucy's just going to blindly open these. He said, "Oh, I haven't opened them, even look at them yet." He's just been piling them up. So he said, "We'll just do it on the pod."
So look, here they are. You can see that's the whole pile.
Jesus.
We're going to go through.
Have a look. There'll
and
be some
open
Tyson
them.
Beck ones in there, which will be very
Yeah,
nice.
there'll be some Tyson Becks. I'll move this microphone off to the side so we can open it and we can see whether we got any numbered ones and what cards we got. All right. So the first one here is Rashford. Here we go. That's by Dolly. That would have been one that Doma picked up. I think I might have bought one of those as well. Not numbered. Not numbered. So
been flying at the moment.
Playing well without Ronaldo. Got the Foden. There we go. That's a Tyson Beck special.
There we go. Special.
Foden.
Mate.
Not numbered. Not numbered. I bought between the Project 2022 and bought a bit. There's another Foden. Doubled up one from Doma and myself, and I think I might have picked up another one. Not numbered. I'm opening them all, ladies and gentlemen, because we do hit a numbered one. I'm going to celebrate because I've never. Oh, geez, I've just lost one.
Yeah, we've never hit a numbered on these.
I've never hit a numbered one of these, and that's it. That includes the baseball. There's another Foden, not numbered.
All right, so
another Tyson Beck Foden, not numbered.
So the Tyson Beck Foden specials, no numbered there.
No numbered.
Don't worry, we'll go see Tyson. I'll get mine ordered by him.
Got the Messi.
That's a waste of money.
The Messi by Senil Chitarka.
I was telling Saucy, I'm that petty, ladies and gents, that I played a game of FIFA 23, my first ever game. The person I was playing against went Man United because they wanted Ronaldo. I said, that's fine. I'm going PSG. I went PSG, and I literally took Messi off right wing and put some spud on in that position. I didn't even care who it was. I didn't even play with him. I went to team management before
he took him off the field.
And I won because I have Mbappe. So, yeah, but I got Mbappe, so I'm not losing.
Xavi.
That's a nice
Tyson
card.
Beck. It's Tyson Beck.
That's a bloody ripper.
Special. So, unfortunately, not numbered, ladies and gentlemen, as usual.
Don't worry, there's another one there, though. There'll be another one. Don't stress. Because you and I both collect the Chavies.
There's another one. It's not numbered, Doma. What would we have done there? We only ordered two, and one of them was numbered. That would have been a dilemma.
That is a dilemma. We would have had to go to random. We would have had to go to random.org, put Saucy and Doma live on the pod, and whoever gets it gets it.
I've got another Xavi. I actually ordered two of them. I'll double up. Oh wait, I always order a second one.
Yeah.
Of Tyson's.
No luck here at the moment on the numbered, but very nice looking card. So
nice looking cards, very nice. I just like the quality. Here we go. Here's a Neymar that I picked up. This is nice. This is a Neymar one.
That is a nice card.
Bang. Neymar. This is by Che Henjen. No, I don't think so. The numbering's on the back. Usually,
okay.
I think.
Was it always gold, that thing at the front?
Well, there's no numbering on it, so
Okay.
I'm guessing not.
Fair enough.
It's probably was the style, mate. I can't remember. I ordered these a while ago. You forget when you order these because, like, they literally rock up a whole month later.
And you're like, oh, yeah, I
Maybe
ordered some
sometimes
cards.
even. Yeah, I ordered some cards. Here we go. Here's a De Bruyne I picked up as well.
That actually is a very nice card.
I know. That's well, the only other ones I order outside of Tyson's are ones when I actually like the design. I messed up last week, Dom. I really liked that Cantona one, and I forgot all about it, and then I cooked it. Forgot to order, so I might have to try snag one on the secondary market.
Ashton asked, "Did you
Here
get?"
He is.
Oh, there he is, mate. Mate, what are you doing? Here it is.
Rafael Rola.
Here he comes. Get that on there. There's another Sui.
There's another Sui. No numbered, Doma. No numbered. Stuff you, Tops. Stuff you.
That it?
Never
That's
get
everything?
Never
dusted?
get any numbered.
Ashton asked, "Did you get or are you going to get a Tyson Beck Mayweather card?" He said he bought a to 35 auto today. So congratulations, Ashton. That's awesome. No, I'm not going to get a Tyson Beck Mayweather card. I'm not.
No, because I'm holding out, Ashton. I'm holding out, right? Let me just tell you. There's another.
Be careful where you go with this.
There's another name coming up, right? That Tyson's releasing, and I can't say anything because I would never, jeopardize the trust that Tyson has shown me. And I'm waiting for that one. All right.
Just an athlete. It's an athlete that he
He's
told
an
us.
athlete.
And we're saving the money.
I'm saving because I want that one. And I was so close to buying an order of this person at the last hobby hangout. And I got the whisper from Tyson and said, "Oh, just hold out, mate, because I will be releasing an auto with that person very soon, next year."
No chance,
So
Ashton. I'm sorry. We love you for tuning in and you're being faithful to the pod, but we can't break the trust we have between the great man Tyson and ourselves.
He hasn't even released it. So I
We are
cannot
the
say
vault.
anything.
We are the vault. We're not saying
That's
nothing.
the zip. Shut.
That's it. Throw away the key. Simple as that. Very nice sauce. That's another ep done. Hope you enjoyed the little bit of a opening there of our cards to end the show. Thanks for tuning in once again, ladies and gents. We'll see you next week, same time, but we'll probably have this playoff pod either tomorrow or the day after. I'll tee something up. I'll work it out with Matty Cams, and we'll get it up and running. On that note, I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. Keep living, loving, and breathing sports. Double coverage, and peace out.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.